The neoclassical scene disrupted rock guitar in a big way. Let's play some licks and explore how players like Yngwie Malmsteen changed the game with different scales and techniques. Recently I found myself practicing some old shred licks and listening to some of the so-called neoclassical players from the 80s, and I wanted to share some thoughts and licks with you. But to understand the concepts behind these licks, it's important to put them into some context. The neoclassical guitar scene was great for three fundamental reasons. It was disruptive and in a good way. Rock guitar started as an exciting, constantly evolving genre that peaked several times with great players, you know the names. But eventually it started relying on the same sounds and licks, mostly sticking to the pentatonic, blues scale and Dorian mode. Neoclassical players introduced sounds that, aside from Ritchie Blackmore and Uli John Roth, hadn't been used in mainstream rock and roll. Scales like harmonic and melodic minor, the diminished arpeggio, and more were mixed with the traditional rock guitar sound. This created a super technically oriented music, full of speed-picking runs and killer sweep-picking arpeggio licks. Except for Yngwie Malmsteen, who achieved a legendary status, the rest of the neoclassical scene faded away. But Yngwie was truly something. Even if you like him or not, he broke the guitar world. Nobody could play like him, and when he came out, nobody understood how he played like that. So yes, neoclassical guitar was disruptive. But what about the gear and the techniques? This takes us to reason number 2. To play this style, you had to practice for hours and hours. You couldn't just get away playing a couple of pentatonic licks. In my opinion, anything that makes you play more time is great, because more is more. Plus, this style didn't rely heavily on gear. This Strat was mostly the main guitar for the style, and for me any Strat that stays in tune is a good enough Strat. And any source of mid to high gain sound, enough for good picking articulation, was good enough too. I remember using a beaten up Zoom 9002 and headphones to avoid being kicked out of the house. So you didn't need the fancy racks of that era to play this style. You just needed to put in the time practicing. Okay, but what about the licks? The licks are the reason number 3. The licks were very cool. Let's play some. This is a classic Yngwie Malmsteen picking run. Here you have a diminished arpeggio run. This is a quintessential neoclassical minor arpeggio, used by players like Jason Becker and Michael Romeo. If you are still here, please consider subscribing. Now let's do a cool diminished arpeggio exercise. I took it from a Marty Friedman instructional video. Here's an extra lick for those who watched this far. It's in the style of the king of neoclassical guitar, Yngwie Malmsteen. And here's a great story about my favorite Yngwie Malmsteen lick.